to my dance money. I can say, why nigga?
Man from the Leo, GK, but really boiled down to key 10 my ratio. Puffing up enough of my grace like inspirations. I got assurance, so I know that I pay. I check the life lane, but how the four lanes and full blood.
Welcome back to Camera Farmer. Now this week we're back to the Camp Snap because when I first discovered them, I saw what they were like, bought two, you know the story. But there was one accessory that wasn't available and I was just able to get it, and that is the waterproof case. And I have to say, before I even look at this case, Camp Snap boxes are fantastic. Great printing. Everything's just really good about them. I just love the boxes. I know it really doesn't matter, but the packaging just needs to be strong, but it looks good as well, and I like that. Anyway, this waterproof housing, I have a bit of history with them. Not these ones, but waterproof housings in general, because all my adult life I've been a surfer. And when I wasn't surfing, I was out swimming, anything to do with the water. That was it. And when cameras started becoming available, I certainly couldn't afford the GoPros at the time, but cheap SJ cams, I would get them, and I'll actually do a little show on them and show how you can shoot pictures with them still, and they're years old and they're absolutely fine. I digress, not like me. But you would have to get little waterproof cases for these cameras, and sometimes you got third party, and so this is a sort of knockoff camera with a third party case, and some were hit and miss and some were really good. So you learned really fast what you looked for in a waterproof case, the seals, the joints, the all different aspects of it, and actually even the materials that were made of. If anyone uses waterproof cases for diving, you will be aware of the unbelievable price of a good, if you have something like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera that you're putting into a waterproof case, a case can cost double what your camera and lens costs. They are incredibly expensive. But this, in the UK, I think including postage, all in, I was £25 for this, which is ridiculously cheap for a waterproof case. It says it's submersible up to 5 meters, and because you've got just essentially one button on the Camp Snap, on and off and taking pictures, you've only got one moving part on the case, the housing, which it makes it a lot better for points of failure. Now, even though if something did go wrong, these are inexpensive. You want to keep them as good as long as you can. So we'll have a look at this case. I've opened it already to have a look, and I was actually pleasantly surprised, because I think the price of these is under £20 if you're in the States. I can't remember. It's something like that. They're very cheap. So I was a bit concerned, but what I did find, the lock on it is a standard lock you get these things. So when you put it on, that squeezes it shut, and that's enough to keep it really watertight. The seal on it, this is something that you used to, when you would buy some of these cases off of Amazon for little SJ cams and things like that, you would find the seals, they would fit, but you had to have a good squeeze. This it is so tight. Look at that. That is beautifully fitting. It's just, you have to squeeze it shut and pull it open. That is a good thing. This is a really well made case for such little money. So already I'm feeling kind of confident. Now, I didn't get this to go out swimming or anything like that. I've mentioned before in the show that I have an injury that's sort of prevented me from surfing and swimming and things like that now. But what I wanted this for is to go out in heavy rain, because sometimes, being in Scotland, we rain. Although in Dundee, we get the least rain in the country. It doesn't rain often here, but when it does, we can get it a lot. So I've been waiting for some good torrential rain so I could get out and take people walking to work, or just another way of shooting. Just get out in the rain. But you don't want to take good cameras out. You don't want to do all that sort of thing. You just don't, because why would you want to ruin anything? And to get a camera that is properly weather sealed adds so much cost to it. Or it doesn't. This is basically weather sealing the camera 100%. I've not taken a little protective bit off the front. Now, these things do pick up scratches, but I've found even if the lens cover part is slightly recessed a little, you're absolutely fine. But my advice is, if you were to get one of these just to go out on rainy days to protect your camera so you could actually just get out and take pictures, just keep it in a cloth. If you've not got a bag, like a microfiber cloth like that, and in the bag, and nothing will happen to it. It's absolutely fine. If something does happen and scratches, you get little pots or things of paste that's for taking scratches off of watch faces. You get that off of Amazon for a few £. Get that and just rub it, and it takes everything away. So you can maintain these. In time, especially if you're taking it underwater in salt water, the hinge, the metal bar that goes along the hinge here will show signs of rust. It won't affect it in any way. That happens with them all. It doesn't matter if it's stainless steel or that. Salt water will destroy everything at some point. The seal on this, it goes around a plastic lip. So I think eventually, opening and closing, it will wear. And I don't know if they sell spare ones. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. But even if it doesn't, it's not the most expensive thing to replace, and it will take time. You do get some little silicone you get for seals, and if you put it around it, it'll make it easier to put in and out. Plus, it also creates a better waterproof seal. But if you're just going out for rain, if you're just wanting one of these to go out on rainy, miserable days, and in case you drop the camera or anything like that, even if the seal goes a bit, no water's going in there from rain. It'll be absolutely fine. And like I say, it's so cheap, you know. And on the back, you've got these little rubber feet that push the camera in. So the camera on the inside, we'll put it in. It pushes it. We'll close it. And there is no... This is solid. And excuse me, I had a Canon PowerShot years ago that I just bought for going out surfing, and I got a case for it, and it rattled in it, and it was like you ended up putting I can't remember, it was like cardboard or something I put in it just to stop it moving around, and it was an official Canon case as well, and I think at the time the camera was like maybe £200 and the case was about £150, and it didn't quite fit. This fits absolutely perfect, and look how good it looks. Now you're ready to go. There are no mounts on it for like some of these cameras will have mounts on them for like a 1/4" screw or like a GoPro mount, a sports camera mount. There's nothing on this. There is a little lug for putting the strap in, which I took. You have to take your strap off, obviously, to get it in here, which I did, and you could just put it on the outside. So that's all you need. This is, for me, this is just absolutely going out on a terrible rainy day and getting shots. There was a few weeks ago, I went out for a walk in a little forest nearby. It was on last week's show that I did. And the rain was so heavy. And when you're under trees like that, there's areas where it's just pouring through. I was soaked through. I went out for literally a 10-minute walk. That's all I can do these days. 10-minute walk. Battering down. And I didn't have a camera because I couldn't shoot anything. It was like, you know. And I didn't, my DJI was down at work. So, but if this is in my bag, or I have the option to grab this and I could go out in rain and, you know, or maybe put it half in a puddle and do some lovely experimental shots. I don't know, but I'm actually really excited about this because I've been waiting for a few months for this to come back in stock. So if you go looking for one, I think on their main website when I looked the other day, I got this from, when I looked on their main site the other day in America, they had like 8 of them left, so they sold out really fast. I got this from Dartmoor, Dartmoor Photographic Limited, and they are in Devon, Tavistock, Devon. And how much was it? Was it 25? Yeah, it was £25. It was £22 for this and £3 postage. So, and this is where I've been getting the camp snaps from, and they're really good, send really fast. I don't know anything about them apart from just getting camp snaps, so they seem to be very good so far, and I'm very pleased with them, and good prices. Yeah, of course you expect anything that's been imported to be marked up. They've marked up so little compared to the original price in America. I can't complain in any way. So you've got a lovely clear back that you can see everything. You can still use your viewfinder, which on a lot of waterproof cases, and the one I had years ago for the PowerShot, you went, oh, you could use it. You couldn't see a thing through it. And this was an expensive case at the time. We're talking 20 years ago, longer, 23 years ago. And it was just, I was so disappointed in it. Did it keep the camera waterproof? Yeah. Did it work? Yeah, but it wasn't as good as this. It's as simple as that. It just wasn't as good and well made. This seems really perfectly designed. I already just, well, having that little bit of experience of having, I think I've bought maybe over 10 waterproof cases over the years for different cameras. Actually, probably nearer 15. And this one has given me the most confidence right away. So I think that's a good sign. The seal on the switch looks good. I'm going to try it. I've never tried that. Oh, easy to push. That's the camera on. I'll take a picture. That's it. It feels okay. Yeah, that's another picture, and I'll switch it off. And that's it. Now, sometimes on these cameras, the cases, the switch can come out really high, and it's easy to put it on and off. Or this little button here, which extends all the way to the main switch, can be really small, or you then suddenly realise that a little dome shape has to be as flat as possible because it hurts your finger. This is metal, and you have to put a bit more pressure on to take a picture with this. That's just the nature, because there's a rubber seal and a spring and to stop water going in. But you have to put more pressure on. And there was one I got, and it had this huge button on it. And I thought, what's the point of that? This huge, it was the most amazing thing ever because you could press it without hurting your finger. Because then I followed it up with a small one, and honestly, it was like a ball bearing. And after maybe 4 or 5 shots, you go, God, you ended up not bruised, but your finger felt bruised. It was not comfortable. This is just a perfect size, and it's nice and almost recessed. You can just feel it in no more, so you could push it in. I think if you're using wetsuit gloves, which being a surfer in Scotland, I had a full winter wetsuit, gloves, boots. I had layers underneath in neoprene, and that's in summer. It's very cold here. So you would have thick things on. I can guarantee you I'd be able to take pictures with that, no problem. So that's really good. There is a lock here, so this can't be accidentally forced open. There is a lock, so you have to push the lock to lift that up and then release that. So it's just a very simple system of a lock on it, but that will keep your camera safe in water. I think I would feel confident in the sea with this. I don't see any issues with it, where sometimes you used to open them and as soon as you looked at it, you're like, ugh, this is not good. This looks great. All the function, the camera is still there. Obviously, you don't get access to your flash. You have to open it and close it for that, but that's irrelevant because usually if you're in water, you do not need a flash because it just ruins your shots anyway. And you would, if you were diving with this, I think an external light is always better. I think a flash on this would do nothing, absolutely nothing in the water. But I am pleased with it. I've been really excited to get one because I want to get out in all weathers. And there's nothing worse when there's a miserable day, but you know you could get great light and you just can't take a picture, especially with the Camp Snap, which this is my main camera by a long way now. I knew when I got it, I wanted to make it my main camera. That was the goal. I would really like I liked the ethos behind it. I liked the way the pictures looked, so I'm going to make this my main camera. I didn't realise how much I am shooting now. If I go out anywhere, I'm going to do some shopping to pick up something for food or something for the cat. And on the way now, I'm finding myself stopping somewhere, taking a couple of pictures. And when I say a couple, that's a lie. Maybe 50. And then on my way, this camera is getting used. And that's way beyond what I even hoped. So now to have access to bad weather, we're meant to get, this is working out perfectly because tomorrow it's meant to be heavy rain. So I'm hoping that I'm going to get out and get some pictures in the rain. And even if it's just a wet day, at least you'll see the water on the ground. You'll be out getting it. You can do things with this safety measure now. And this is what I'm hoping. So what we'll do today, it's a I'm rarely like this. It's a lovely day and I'm annoyed. But hopefully tomorrow I'm going to get out and get in the rain and actually enjoy using this in the water. The one thing I will take with me is a cloth like this, because if the lens cover here does get covered in a lot of water, it could look effective, but just do that and you're dry and you won't scratch it with a microfiber. You're on your way again, keep shooting, just don't worry about it. And like that, if there's water all over it, there's water all over it. It'll be absolutely fine. So I think we should get out, take some pictures, and as always, and as I always say, I have no idea where I'm going. So, we're out and about again. I'm up at a place in Dundee called Camperdown, a lovely public park, and the rain that was, when I was coming up in the car, the rain is the heaviest I've seen it in years. I park and I get out and the rain stopped. Oh, a buzzard. Every time I come out I see buzzards. Anyway, I can guarantee you this camera is going in water, no matter what. There's a pond up here and it's getting a dunking. I can't believe the rain went off, but this is the very nature of planning photography. That's why I shouldn't do it. I should just get out and do things, but I've planned it and this is what you get. This place up here is the park. I don't know what the future of the park's going to be. It's in a bit of flux at the moment. Everything's kind of failing in it and I've got a feeling they'll probably sell it off, which would be a great shame. This is where I used to come as a kid. And that tree up there with all the sort of curved branches, the green one, I remember climbing to the very top of that as a kid. And it's covered in so much sap, you come down and all your clothes were essentially left at the top, your shoes and everything. All stuck to the tree, they'll still be there. Right, this is it's not what it used to be, this little area, but it's still here, it's still wet. I don't even know if I can get down to the water or I'm going to fall in doing this. Oh, the rain started. Okay, this is good. Right, I can assure you it is actually raining. You can see that from the water. And it's getting quite heavy. I'm putting my hood up. Oh, there's me complaining and it's all fine. I'm going to get soaked, excellent. So let's just take some pictures. It's great having the camera out in the rain. This gives you so much confidence. Let's just see if we can dunk it in. This is where I fall in and make some proper content. Okay, it was underwater and I can't tell. I think we're all good. Yep, we're all good. Excellent, excellent. Because even though it's clearly very waterproof, you're still nervous putting it in the water. I remember I had my sports cams, and when I first went out surfing with them, I was amazed that they were all in one piece when I came back. Because you're spending all this money and just throwing it in the water, which never feels good. If you are using one of these, always bring a microfiber. Get the water off it so you can continue taking pictures without big blobs in the way. Ah, so it's actually raining. This is great. This is nice. And strangely, even though it's raining and a bit windy, it's not cold today. Oh, look at the state of this place. This used to be so nice. And in years gone by, they had flamingos up here, which was a strange thing, but they actually did. Yeah, this probably won't show up on the camera that it's raining, but this is just about getting out in the wet with the confidence of not ruining your camera. And for, like I said, £25 all in, that's absolutely fantastic. And you can still use the viewfinder, no problem at all. We'll just go for a walk around here, take some more pictures, because even though I'm keen to show that this is a great confidence builder, I don't want to get too soaked because I've got a day of work ahead. Actually, that's a really nice view. I'll take some more of that. But definitely, when it gets really heavy rain again, the first opportunity I get for some real torrential downpour, I will be out in it taking pictures. That's for sure. Because this is great just to carry this around like this. And if you did drop it, it gives you this extra level of protection. And of course, you just don't want to be throwing money away and replacing it all the time, but rather that than another camera. Right, this is a shorter video this time, but I think it gives you an idea that the case does work. It's really good, and because it's so big, it feels good in your hand. There's a lot more to grip, and like that, there is a lug there for a strap as well. So if you were to take it out snorkeling or something, I imagine it's pretty secure. The one thing I don't know, and I haven't tested, I should really have done that. I don't know if it floats or sinks. You'd be surprised how many of these cameras sink like a stone. You think because there's air in it that it'll actually just float on the top, but they don't. But you do get floats that you can attach to them. So you can have a strap on your hand. If it did come off, there's a big yellow or orange float that'll allow you to see it in the water. And they're usually very cheap, only a few pounds. $8, whatever. Certainly not much. But as I don't go snorkeling or in the sea anymore, which is a recent thing for me, but not going to complain. I am where I am. I couldn't really test it to that level, and I'm sure online someone will be testing it right now to see how good this is. But as I have had a lot of these cases in the past, this one feels excellent. It really does. Initial impressions are really good. And we've been out in a day like this, which is raining, overcast. The DJI Action, which I'm shooting with, it shoots so well, makes everything look bright, so it probably looks like a bright day. And I'm not getting soaked through. Oh dear. Take some shots here, short video, and remember, get out there, take pictures, have fun, get soaked through, enjoy it. Use every camera, use any camera. Hey, wait a minute, did I actually give accidental good advice there? You know what, I think I did. I'm going to stick with that. Use every camera, use any camera. It's the best way to be. So I'm away because I put on a waterproof jacket but not waterproof trousers, so my legs are soaking already. So until next time.